Alrighty, so what we are doing today is we are completing the square of this problem right here. But with that being said, we're using it in LaTeX. So I actually already went ahead and did all of it ahead of time. And I even have a nice little link for the YouTube video that, guess what, you're being a part of right now. So it's a little inception right here of the YouTube video for this problem itself. So here's the problem we have to complete the square for. So the first thing that I did, I'm going to just get rid of all this. So I'm going to cut all this guy out right here. So the first thing I noticed when I look at this guy, which I did right here, is I factored out this -3 because to complete the square, you need to have just x squared alone / that just makes your life easier. So I factored this out. And when you factor it out, so actually, you know what? Despite this, I'm just going to show you what you need to do. So, I mean, why reinvent the wheel if you don't have to? So this is that original problem. So, you know, I'm going to factor out that 3, specifically -3. So it gets x squared and then minus not 12x, but 4x. And then the only other thing that is difficult is right here. This does change to a plus. And then you have to input a fraction using LaTeX. So \frac. And then your numerator, and then your denominator of 3. So that's actually, and if you look, when you go ahead and do all the rest of the steps, that's the only difficult aspect of the coding that you need to do. So I'm just going to get rid of the things that the code won't read. Oh, well, look, I already did the work ahead of time and then I lost it all in my command and copying. So guess what? Looks like we're doing it together again. So let's just get rid of this. So it will actually be red, and let's read it, make sure there's no errors in the code. So far, so good. There we go. Oh, I forgot a parentheses. That's awkward. So I was putting that parentheses right there. So then from here, you know, you have to start following the steps of completing the square. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up right here doing a specifically plus -2 all squared minus -2 all squared. The reason why being that whole idea of specifically b over 2 all squared is what you're supposed to do to get the actual term right here to get your perfect square. And then you have to move your c term to the other side, which would technically be over here, and then add it again. But that's the reason why I did a minus sign right here, because if I moved it all back onto the same side of the equation, you're really subtracting it. The only reason why I'm doing this is because I have an f of x right here and I don't feel like replacing it with 0. You could technically do what the original way is, but that just makes it a little more difficult for me. So from this point, you know, if you simplify this first half right here, you end up getting, or not first half, but this first portion right here. So I'm going to actually delete that because that gives me a nice right here +4. And the only reason why this is important / this is great, and let me run the code just to make sure my first 2 steps were good. So the only reason why this is important because I'm actually going to throw parentheses on it right here. Again, the reason why is because I'm doing everything on the same side of the equal sign rather than on both. So this guy right here that I just threw the parentheses on is actually going to be your perfect square that you can factor out. So let's go ahead and do that. I also just got rid of the parentheses right here because it's not necessary anymore. So that ends up giving you, again, don't reinvent the wheel, folks, if you don't have to. So that ends up giving you x minus 2. Am I outside of parentheses? I am, all squared. So yay, that looks great. And again, some of you might be asking yourself why I haven't adjusted the size of the fraction right here by using another command in the code. And the reason why being I actually like how it sort of looks right here. It's sort of fit to the same size as the rest of the numbers. And that's just aesthetically pleasing to me / helps me understand and read. I could technically make it bigger if I wanted to. And then from that point, just got to simplify that last half of the problem. So specifically, this guy right here. So the fraction 17/3 minus -2 all squared, which ends up giving you folks a grand total of, I wonder, -5. So I'm actually going to get rid of all of this, put a -5, and you end up getting your completed the square function. Oh, there's an error. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, I forgot the $sign at the end. I deleted it a little too far. Let's try again. All right, and there you go. There we have it. So we're done, and that's it. And I will, and again, why reinvent the wheel if you don't want to? I have a functioning code right here. I'm gonna put in the link to the video here. And obviously the link to this video will change, but now all I have to do is upload it to YouTube and it will be an inception moment like I was talking about in the beginning. Please let me know though, mathematically for completing the square. If you do have any questions, I'm more than happy to help. All right, peace out, Girl Scout.